before we get to the battles, I want to shout out Ridge, who has been sponsoring my channel for over 6 months, and all the people who have supported me through this. I've been using my Ridge wallet for over half a year now, and it's been such a great upgrade from my old wallet that was really heavy and chunky. After having this wallet for a long time, it's retained its strength, style, and I basically use it every day. I feel safe going anywhere with my bank card, as the Ridge wallet has built-in RFID blocking to stop any scammers. This titanium wallet is durable, stylish, and very minimalistic. The Ridge wallet comes in a variety of styles for you to choose what suits you the best. As well as this great wallet, Ridge had so many other great products like this durable keychain, ripstop drink sleeve, and field notes if you're out in the go and about exploring. Ridge is confident you enjoy this product with over 30,000 5-star reviews. You get free shipping, free returns if you don't like it, and a lifetime guarantee. Get this wallet and other great products by going to ridge.com/PIMPNITE. That's right, ridge.com/PIMPNITE, and use code PIMPNITE for 10% off. Link in the description. What's up, it's you? For today's video, we're a full GMAX Pokemon team. This is a very special video today because this has 6 individual battles in one video. So what I did right is I picked out 6 random GMAX Pokemon, I put them on one team and come up with some sets, and had some really good battles, and I very much hope you enjoyed this video. If you could drop a like on the video, this took me a heck of a lot of work to do, and the last couple of days, that's what I've been doing, right, because that's why I haven't uploaded. Alright, the first battle we got is against Wesley, and we got a Dragovish lead. I'm starting things off with my physical speedy Garbodor. So on this set, we've got Gunk Shot, Drain Punch, and Stomping Tantrum. The other move I got is Toxic Spike, so that's more for the other team members. So this is a max speed and max attack set, which worked pretty nicely, Jolly Nature. So the Garbodor is going to get hit by the Psychic Fangs there, and my Weak Armor is going to activate. Now, what Weak Armor does, if you get hit by a physical contact move, it's going to give you a +2 and speed and drop your defense by 1. So going for that Gunk Shot there does a lot of damage to Dragovish, and I got to decide here whether I'm going to go for another one or just go for a safety Drain Punch. I was a little bit worried that Drain Punch wouldn't take it out, so I went for that second Gunk Shot. It doesn't miss, and Dragovish is going to go down. So really, really nice start there. I guess the only bad thing about that is Garbodor is on a low amount of health, so if I do have a a priority move, I could be in a little bit of trouble. So now the Dugtrio is going to come in here. I'm going to hit it with a Scummy Hand, and that does some really, really good damage there. It does about 3/4 to it. I know that an Earthquake is coming my way, but I was very happy to get rid of a Dragovish, right, and do 3/4 damage to a Dugtrio, which is really, really good there. So Garbodor is going to go down, but man, he was pretty helpful in that battle. Like, taking nearly 2 Pokemon out was very, very good. Alright, the next Pokemon we got is Kingler. So Kingler was also a physical set. We got Liquidation, High Horsepower, and a Brick Break and Agility. So Dugtrio hits me with the Earthquake. Kingler's got some really good defenses for a sweepy Pokemon, so I take that reasonably well. And Dugtrio's attack isn't anything to write home about. So now I've got a +2 in speed here. I can freely go for a Liquidation and easily finish off this Dugtrio, and then I'll be speedy enough for some of the other incoming Pokemon, right? So we got the Dugtrio down, and that's a pretty good start there. So I've got a +2 in speed, and I can hit pretty powerful with its Liquidation. So this is a sheer force set as well. Now we got the Arctozolt coming in. Now I'm going to go for the High Horsepower. Don't ask me how does a crab get a high horsepower? I don't really understand that. Someone can explain that to me. Anyway, so I'm going to throw a Horseshoe at the Arctozolt, but it's going to live and take me out with a, well, that could have taken me out with a Thunder Shock there. Let's be real. All right, so that's down. Now, I thought this might be like a prime opportunity, right, to send in Snorlax. So I've got a Belly Drum, Dankus Lariat, Body Slam, Zen Headbutt, Snorlax. We've got max health and max attack. So that Thunderbolt is pretty much going to tickle there, and I'm going to be going for the Belly Drum. So that's going to maximize attack, giving me +6 in attack. The item I've got in this one is the Citrus Berry as well. Now, obviously, each individual battle like this, I'm going to be G-maxing a certain Pokemon. So I wanted each individual Pokemon to shine in at least one battle. This battle, we're going to start off, we're going to be using G-Max, G-Spot. Guys, this is a full G-Spot team, and we're going to be using the Snorlax, right? So Snorlax is going to be our first G-Max Pokemon. Now, Snorlax is really, really bulky, and it's got a Torterra and a bunch of berries on its stomach. Now, this Pokemon is actually really, really great because when it uses its move, G-Max, I'll get to it in a second when it comes up on the screen. When it uses its move right, it actually has a 50% chance of, using the berry that it just consumed, which is really, really cool. The GMAX replenish. So as you can see, all the berries went on the ground there, which is very good. And I'm going to get my citrus berry back, which is going to be nice as well. Now, there are a couple of things that stop you from getting that berry, like say if your item gets knocked off and stuff like that, that won't happen. Or it just won't activate because there's a 50% chance. Alright, so we've taken out the Arctop. We got +6 in attack. And out comes the Dragapult. Man, I've never seen this Pokemon before. Man, it's such a treat to see this Pokemon. Anyway, so I'm going to go for Dankus Lariat there, or Max Darkness. And they're going to go for a Dynamax too. So this is really good because I know they definitely won't be able to, there's no way they're going to be leaving a +6, Max Darkness. Even if they, I nearly said GMAX. Dynamax their Pokemon as well. I was actually kind of curious, right? In the game when you pick, you go to Dynamax your Pokemon, it'd be cool if it said GMAX instead of Dynamax on the specific Pokemon. Anyway, so I'm going to hit there by the Max Whirlwind. They're obviously trying to drop my attack. It only did it by one stage, so that's not really enough there. I've still got +5 in attack. And I've got Adamant Nature on this thing, so it's, it's very, very hitting hard there. So we got the Dragapult, the Dragapult going down, and we still got 2 more Pokemon, and we're in a very strong position with Snorlax at the moment. So we've still got one more turn of the GMAX Snorlax, so out comes the Ferrothorn. So okay, the only move I can really go here is the Max Darkness, or I could go for GMAX Replenish and try and get a berry back. I was like, nah, let's go for the Max Darkness, and Ferrothorn is going to pop that Protect. So I know this is definitely not going to take the Ferrothorn out, especially after using Protect, right? Even at +5, it's definitely not going to go down there. So Ferrothorn tanks that one extremely well. Of course, it used Protect. And my GMAX is run out, but that's all good. I destroyed a lot of Pokemon with that. So Ferrothorn's got that leftover recovery. Now, Ferrothorn's going to have to hit me reasonably hard. I'm thinking well, firstly, Gyro Ball's not going to do anything. It's going to need a Power Whip, a Leech Seed, or something like that. So now I can go for the Darkus Lariat, or Dankus Lariat. Look at this, baby. Look at this attack. It's beautiful. Spin me right round. All right, so doing some massive damage to Ferrothorn, but it actually hung on due to that Max Whirlwind from the earlier Dragon Ball, which was really unfortunate. And it's going to be going for a Toxic, man. That time when I wish I was running Immunity, right, which is out of all the abilities Snorlax has got, Immunity is probably the one I'd say you use the least. So my set was a Thick Fat set. I was actually going to go for a Gluttony set, but I decided against it and go for a, Thick Fat one. Okay, so obviously they're going to go for Protect this turn. Snorlax has already done, pretty much done its race with, Belly Drum and stuff like that, so there's no point in me swapping it out. It's already really slow, so I'm just going to leave Snorlax in, it's going to go down to the Toxic. But man, it did a really, really good job there. I could have actually tried to, you could definitely run Rest on this set, so after its GMAX runs out, you could most definitely go for Rest. So I just went for a little bit of a fun Belly Drum set. The problem with that one is you just get outspared and eventually you get, taken down right. Alright, so of course we got in this team Charizard. Man, I was so happy that I could use Charizard when the randomizer plucked it out of thin air, right? I was so happy because I'm like, I never see this Pokemon. It's such a, it's such an unpopular Pokemon. Alright, so I'm going to kick basically Ferrothorn in the face with a Blazing Foot, and it's going to go down. So they've got one more Pokemon left, and it is Rotom Heat. So Rotom is actually pretty good against some of these Pokemon. I can't really do a lot. I can't set up a Dragonance. I'm running a physical Charizard set there. And all my moves were not very effective. So it's going to hit me with a Thunderbolt. And Charizard is going to go down. There was no point setting up, setting up or swapping out. I just kicked the oven. Guys, I just kicked the oven door shut. I did it again. All right, so we got 2 more Pokemon left out. And we got a Toxtricity set. So this is a Technician set, which is pretty cool. I'll explain all these sets as the battle goes on, right? So we got a nasty plot Rotom Oven here. This thing is going to have a lot of, obviously, a lot of special attack. Now, it's definitely a sweeping set. So go for Snarl there. I'm going to the Snarl Technician out. I've got the Throat Spray at the same time. Plus, I'm dropping the special attack of the Rotom. So Rotom's only going to have +1 now. Not that that's a bad thing for Rotom, because I know this thing's got Overheat, right? I know that it's got Overheat. So, what should I go for? I can go for a Snarl again. It doesn't really matter, because I know if Overheat lands, Toxtricity ain't going to be living this one, right? So, Toxtricity goes down, and its stats are going to drop. So, I've got one more Pokemon left, and this Pokemon was actually faster than Rotom. but I couldn't swap it in earlier on because I was actually a little bit worried that it would, not take it up. So we got Gengar as the last Pokemon. Gengar is a very cool GMAX Pokemon too. I've got a pretty interesting special set, as I'll explain that one more as the battle goes on. So we got the Shadow Ball taking out the Hothead, and that one, my friends, is the first battle. Hope you enjoyed that one. A very close battle there at the end too. And thank you for the battle, Wesley, I think it was. Yes, it was Wesley. Okay, let's hop on to the second battle. Now, this second battle was pretty interesting too. Now, this one we're going to be using a different GMAX Pokemon. So I want to show off each of the 6 GMAX Pokemon. If you're enjoying the battle so far, make sure you drop a like on the video. Appreciate that. And I'm not sure what this person's name was, but we're battling that girl. All right, so we've got a Togekiss run, and I'm leading things off with the Garbodor. This battle was absolutely wild, if it's the one I'm thinking of. So, we got the speedy Garbodor. I went for the Gunk Shot, and now we got the Togekiss swapping out, and we got the Como swapping out. It's like, oh, it's probably going to have bulletproof, but it didn't. So I'm going to go for the Gunk Shot here. Gunk Shot does some wild damage to Como. It's definitely a plus, like a 2-hit KO there. So I can go for another one and take it out if it lands, right? So I'm quite confident I can live probably any attack this thing throws at me. I've got Stomping Tantrum as the other move too, in case any poison types and stuff around. Steel types are Drain Punch, right? So I outspeed it like this, son, and it misses. I'm like, no! And now we got the Clanging Scum here. That does over half health to me, but I do live on 69 health, people. And remember, I'm on 69 health, people. That's the most important part about this battle so far. So now I can go for another Gunk Shot, hoping it lands and hoping my Garbodor doesn't go down. And Gunk Shot does connect there. Man, I really miss the animation of basically getting like a rubbish bin and destroying it at your opponent. It was super disrespectful. So of course I get the critical hit on the second one there when it doesn't matter. And Como is going to go down. Now, the next Pokemon we're coming out is the Hatterene. So I can go for another Gunk Shot here. That's super effective. It's like, well, this is going to do a lot of damage to Hatterene unless it's a very bulky set. And Gunk Shot does not miss. I do outspeed because I'm running a... actually, Garbodor's pretty fast when you look at its speed, when you run a speedy one. And Hatterene is going to go down. So we've got 2 Pokemon down there to the Garbodor, which is really good, right? I was thinking, well, Togekiss ain't going to want to come out here. This is... going to be pretty hard for them. So now we got the Toxtricity low-key swapping in. I can go for a Stomping Tantrum here. So Stomping Tantrum is going to super good. Now Toxtricity isn't a really fast Pokemon either. And I outspeed with a Stomping Tantrum. And guess what, guys? It gets absolutely bodied. So that's 3 Pokemon down now to Garbodor. Man, I haven't even gotten to the G spot yet, if you know what I'm saying. All right, so the next Pokemon we got is the Togekiss. So I was like, okay, I've got to go for the GMAX now, because could we get us like a Garbodor GMAX sweep here? Could we do it? I've done a Garbodor sweep with my channel, but actually haven't done a GMAX Garbodor. All right, so I'm gonna make them step on Legos, guys. Look at that Lego on the side there. When I was a kid, I used to build Lego all the time. I tip it out on the table and I build all these towns and stuff. Did anyone else play with Legos and stuff when they were young, or still do at the moment? Tell me in the comment section. All right, so going for my GMAX move then. Now, that move has a 100% chance of poisoning the opponent. It's quite interesting because Gunk Shot's actually a little bit stronger than that, with that only has 95 base power coming off a physical set. All right, so Togekiss is going to go down to the poison, which is great, and I do live that Air Slash, which was absolutely beautiful. So we've got 2 more Pokemon left. Can I get this sweep? And then the Charizard comes out. I'm like, oh, here we go. So I've got to go for the GMAX Malador again. That's my best bet against, Charizard. All right, so I outspeed him. Like, what? I outsped a Charizard? So my speedy Garbodor outspeeds the Charizard, but it fails to take the Charizard out. So I'm like, okay, this is like a bulky Charizard or something like that. Anyway, so I get the poison. Air Slash actually misses then. So I can outspeed the Charizard this turn and take them out. So if you notice my PP right, I know it's big, right? So we've only got 2 more Pokemon left, which is the, 2 more Pokemon left. And I've only got 2 more GMAX, just poison moves in general. So anyway, what's that? A boat, a rocket, a Lego inside? That's crazy. A fish? And Charizard is going to go down. So that's 5 Pokemon taken down by the Garbodor simply on its own. Can this sweet happen, people? Can this sweet happen? All right, so the last Pokemon is the Sylveon. Now, I've got the type advantage here, and I've only got 1 more Gunk Shot left, right? 1 more Gunk Shot. 1 shot, baby. 1 shot to take this out. If I don't hit this, I'm a goner. All right, so going for the Gunk Shot here, and it lands. That was a full Garbodor GMAX physical sweeping speedy set. I can't believe that, people. That was an absolutely crazy, awesome sweep. Because so much, like, especially on the Charizard missing, that was a really, really big thing. Hope you guys enjoyed that second battle. It was a sweep. Do you think Garbodor deserves its own sweeping video on YouTube? I think it does. Let me know in the comment section. Now, I will give you a little bit of advice. You're probably wondering on some of how I outsped some of those Pokemon. They were running a Trick Room team, and that was a Trick Room Charizard because I battled them afterwards. And I used a different team because I actually matched up with them randomly again and had that Charizard under Trick Room. It was crazy. All right, let's move on to the third battle here. So we're against a Galvantula. So I was like, okay, I know this is going to set up Sticky Web, right? And my team's actually very much affected by Sticky Web, right? Especially against like quite speedy offensive Pokemon. So I thought, let's start with Toxtricity, right? So I'm going to get a Shift Gear up that's going to boost my speed by 2 and my attack by 1. It's not really important on the attack side. It's more important on the speedy side, right? Because Toxtricity isn't really a fast Pokemon. So firstly, we're going to do some damage with the Snarl there. That's going to boost our attack, our special attack, sorry. And we got the the throat spray there. Speaking of throat spray, I'm going to need a drink soon. This is going to be a long video, people. I hope you got your popcorn and your lunch or your afternoon tea or your breakfast or just any food in general. I hope you enjoy this one at the moment. Alright, so I was like, it's time to go for the GMAX Toxtricity. I don't think any of my GMAX Pokemon are going to be able to perform well with a Sticky Web on the field, right? And I've already done Snorlax, right? That was like a slow Pokemon. Alright, this Pokemon does look really, really cool. I have to admit, this has a very, very cool GMAX. Man, did that just play guitar with its nipples? I feel like it did. Anyway, so we got the Max Ooze here. I want to try and like boost my special attack on this Galvantula, and Galvantula is going to go down. So we've got a +2 in speed, and we've got a +1 in special attack. Now, there's a combination that I couldn't use in this battle, but normally I'd set up a Toxic Spikes with my Garbodor, and then I'd go for the Venoshock on this set, right? Which would be very, very powerful. That would also help out my Gengar too. So I could go for the GMAX Stun Shock here. Well, that's its obviously its GMAX move, and what that does is an electric type move, and it always paralyzes the opponent, which is like really, really cool. So Excadrill is going to come in there, and obviously they're not going to get affected by that. So I knew there was a chance of that swapping in. That I was like, okay, I can at least go for Max Darkness, and that's going to get rid of their Excadrill anyway. So it didn't even matter. They pretty much had to sacrifice a Pokemon there. So I'm off to a pretty good start against this team. And now we got Copperiggs coming in here. So I know that I can go for a Snarl. And I know that Snarl is definitely going to be a 2-hit KO against this Pokemon. It's got good defenses, but not so much on the special side. So unfortunately for me, Snarl misses. And that actually was a very, very big miss there. And now we got the Will-O-Wisp from the Copperiggs. It's like, okay, why are they using Will-O-Wisp against a special sweeping Pokemon? Then it's like, okay, they must have Hex, and that's the only reason they will use it. So we got this Snarl there. Obviously, it nearly one-shotted it. We even, like, just like a lone at +1. We're going to drop the special attack, and now, obviously, they're going to go for a Hex. That was really unfortunate, because that Hex damage actually put my Toxtricity in the red, right? Whereas, you know, if I hit that Snarl on the first turn, I would have only been burnt, right? It would have been like, you know, very unfortunate there, that miss on Snarl. Anyway, so go for a Shockwave here. I don't want to miss. And obviously, this is a Technician boosted set, so that was boosted by the Technician. Punk Rock obviously didn't come into effect there, but I still thought I'd have a little bit of fun with like a gimmicky special set. All right, so we've taken 3 Pokemon out now. We haven't even lost one now. So obviously, Arcanine is going to go for the obvious extreme speed here. Once again, I could have lived at extreme speed if I didn't miss that Snarl, right? And then I could have gone for a Shockwave or any of those other moves. I don't think it would have taken Arcanine out, but it would have done a lot of damage with Shockwave. I'd say, you know, I'm looking at least 3/4 damage on that one. All right, so we lost our first Pokemon, and this is where things start to get a little bit tricky. So I've got the Air Balloon on this thing, and now Arcanine is going to go for the Flare Blitz. So at this point in time, right, I didn't realize that it was Air Balloon, right? Because when I looked at the stream, right, I was actually on the phone talking to someone, right? And I got the Weak Armor activation, and I got bit. I was like, it's quite a funny story. I'll try and make it really quick. So my friend was like, so how was your weekend? And then I got, at the moment he said that, I got burnt. I was like, I dropped the F-bomb. I was like, damn, well, must have been a good weekend. Then I was like, oh, I didn't mean that. And I misclicked on the Stomping Tantrum because I thought, like, I glanced at the screen, I seen Air Balloons. Like, okay, my Garbodor's got Air Balloon, that's cool. But the opponent had Air Balloon too. I was like, you wouldn't read about it. So not only did I get burned, I used a ground type move against the Air Balloon Pokemon and a fail. Like, I can't believe that. Like, Oh, it's just one of those days, right? Anyway, so Garbodor goes down the salty rage. I was pretty salty at this point. I was like, damn, I had such a good lead. Anyway, so the Hydreigon's going to come in. I can't swap anything into Hydreigon. It's such a scary Pokemon. And it's going to drop the Draco on my Kingler. And, of course, that's going to take me out. Kingler's not very good on the special side either. And if there was any sort of, like, chance of my Kingler, like, living that one, I would have had to have, like, God, like an Assault Vest or something like that. Alright, so the Hydreigon has a White Herb there, and I'm going to be going into Gengar. So at this point in time, right, all my speedy kind of sweepers are pretty much going to get countered by Hydreigon because it's got Sticky Web on the field. So Sticky Web's like really like winning them the battle. Plus, I didn't go for I should have just gone for a Drain Punch. Like, I wish I didn't. Like, I just saw the air balloon out of the corner of my eye while I was on the phone. Like, I can't believe that. Like, both Pokemon had air balloon at the same time. Come on. Alright, so we got the Hydreigon. It's not going to do much there with the Dark Pulse. It's going to be swapping out, right? I was sort of like hoping they go, like, bait them into going for a Draco Meter, but they didn't want to take the bait. So I went for a Body Slam there. Dreadnought's going to be able to eat that one up. I was like, I might be able to get like a Paralyzed, something like that. They've had pretty good luck in this battle so far, so I was hoping I'd get some too. But it didn't happen. So there, Pokemon. It's going to be a GMAX Pokemon too. It's going to be a Dreadnought GMAX. So this is a Pokemon you don't get to see all that often. It's GMAX moves are pretty cool. Puts them spikes on the field, which is pretty nice. And you can stack them with other things like spikes, toxic spikes, and stealth rocks too. So if you manage to have like a get the Stone Surge off and have all those things on the field as well, your opponent's going to be like swapping into like a world of pain unless you've got like heavy duty boots and stuff like that. Alright, so I'm going to eat my Citrus Berry there. That's one turn that the GMAX I'm able to withstand. There's no way my Snorlax is going to be able to live the second one though. So like, what am I going to do against a Dreadnought? It's very, very bulky. Not a single Pokemon in my team can take this one out. I would have needed like a Shockwave from my Toxtricity to like do anything. Anyway, so I'm going to get a big old boulder dropped on my Snorlax. And Snorlax is going to go down. Now, I'm only down to like 2 more Pokemon now. I've got Gengar left. And Gengar's not going to be very fast either. I'm confident I can outspeed a Dreadnought, right? But it's like that Arcanine and the Hydreigon as well, right? Okay, so getting that nice sticky web drop there. I can go for, I was thinking, well, none of my moves are going to take it out, right? My only option here is to go for a Hypnosis and it lands and then go for a Focus Mist, right? Hypnosis does land and the GMAX Pokemon is going to be put to sleep. So it's like, please don't wake up, and it stays asleep. Now, that was actually really, really good, right? Because that was their last turn of GMAX Dreadnought. So now Dreadnought is going to be small again, right? Now, the Sandstorm is up on the field, which could be a little bit problematic for Gengar going for a Focus Mist. I was hoping this would, like, I could just end this Dreadnought before it woke up. So go for Focus Mist. It doesn't miss, does some big damage to Dreadnought, and Dreadnought doesn't go down, but fortunately for me, it's going to stay asleep. So I can go for an easy Shadow Ball here and take them out. I did think that maybe one of the other Pokemon would like try and swap in, but then I was like, nah, it's too risky. They basically need their Hydreigon to win, like even stay in this battle. I mean, if they didn't have their Hydreigon right now in this battle, like the battle would have been gone like over a long, long time ago. All right, so Dreadnought is down. We got Arcanine and we got the Hydreigon left. So Arcanine's not really that much of a worry. It's more the Hydreigon. Okay, so Hydreigon's taken a little bit of damage there from the liquidation. Man, I would have been, it would have been down if my Garbodor hit it with a scummy hand. All right, so swapping out here. I know the Dank Pulse is coming my way. Charizard's got reasonable special defense, I guess you could say. I mean, it's better than like leaving a Gengar in there. And, the Dark Pulse is about a 3-hit KO if that's the same damage roll. Now, there's not a lot I can do here. You guys know what moves I got on my Charizard. I got Steel Wing, Thunder Punch, and Blaze Kick. I got nothing for that at all. So this is why I was sort of like, worried about that Hydreigon, like what I can hit it with. Okay, so Arcanine's obviously going to come in here. I knew that it was going to come in and try and get the Intimidate off. I don't think they knew that I had a special set or anything like that. Sorry, a physical set or anything like that. I think they'll just swap in, obviously expecting like, maybe a fire type move or something like that. Or a Dragon Claw or something like a Dragon Pulse, something along those lines. So doing a double swap there, hoping they went for the Extreme Speed or a Wild Charge. That was sort of like my two guesses of what the Arcanine would do. And I'm going to take a little bit of damage. Now they're going to go use the Wild Charge. Like, Curse Body kick in right now would be very, very handy. And Wild Charge actually gets Curse Body. So that was really good. So my Charizard, can't really get hit by a super effective move from the Arcanine. So Arcanine's pretty much going to have to rely on using, another move outside of Wild Charge. So I guess, obviously it's Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, extreme speed. I went for the Thunder Punch because that's all I had, right? And I get the Parallax, which is really, really lucky, right? We're going to pop the balloon, which should have been popped like 69 years ago. And they just went for a stab Flare Blitz. Obviously, that's their strongest move at the moment. Charizard is actually able to live that one. And Arcanine going to take a little bit more damage. Arcanine actually gets paralyzed before going for the extreme speed. And Charizard takes out the Arcanine, which is really, really cool there. And their last Pokemon is the Hydreigon. It's like, can I go for another Thunder Punch and paralyze this thing and do that all again? And I was like, I don't think I will, because I'm pretty sure the Hydreigon's going to be able to outspeed me and take me out with the Dark Pulse. But man, Hydreigon basically carried them the whole battle there. If they didn't have that, I think it would have been probably a 3-0. And obviously my dumb ass like misclicking on that on the stopping tantrum really cost me the game there, as well as that that Snarl miss really was detrimental, and the Flare Blitz burn as well. That was just straight up mean there. Anyway, so next battle, let's get on to that one. This was a fourth battle. This is the fourth battle, a fourth GMAX Pokemon. Okay, so leading off with the Garbodor, I like to lead off with Garbodor. It's quite a interesting lead. A lot of people wouldn't expect its physical presence at all. They normally set up like Toxic Spikes, something like that. Okay, so Tyranitar actually is a good matchup for me. I could go for a Drain Punch, which will definitely be a 2-hit KO against a Beefaroni. So go for the outspeeding Tyranitar firstly. Go for Drain Punch, doing very heavy damage to Tyranitar. I definitely didn't expect that one coming my way. And they're going to set up the Stealth Roll. Now, Tyranitar is going to have to sort of toss up whether they're going to stay in and, let the Tyranitar go or swap into another Pokemon. Either way, I wasn't, really fussed. I went for the Stomping Tantrum because they actually had they had a Gengar on the team. I'll tell you now, they had a Gengar, and I thought Gengar might be able to slide in and then attack me afterwards. Then again, I was like, they're probably playing it safe unless they went for another move. Gengar would be quite a hard Pokemon to swap in. It's not very bulky, right? Alright, so Sylveon's going to come in. It's another Sylveon. This time, it's a shiny one. I can go for a Gunk Shot. It's like, oh, here we go with a Garbodor to sweep again, boys and girls. Let's go. And Gunk Shot misses. That miss there was actually very, very important because Sylveon's going to be able to go for a Psyshock. And, Garbodor's going to go down to that Sandstorm damage. I nearly lived on 1 health there. Unfortunately, I did. And Garbodor goes down. That was very important because Sylveon would have definitely gone down to a Gunk Shot. 100% there. Okay, so it's going to at least take a little bit of Sandstorm damage, I guess. You got to see the positives in life, people. Even if something bad happens. So Kinglet's going to come in here. I can go for an easy Liquidation KO, or I could set up an Agility. I was like, what should I do here? I decided, I was like, I reckon I could probably live one attack really badly and, then go for the Agility against this thing. So we got the, I went for the Liquidation and, then the Agility. That's what I'm thinking of another battle with Kingler. So this Rotom Wash, right? I had not a lot of Pokemon to swap into this thing. So, I might as well go for 2 Liquidations just to, get some damage on it and, let Kingler get KO'd. But it's going to outspeed me, so it's a sweeping one. It's like, okay, fair enough. I've got to take this out. It's going to do a lot of damage. So the Sandstorm is going to go down there. I've got Toxtricity to swap into this. So this is a pretty good swap in for mostly all the Rotoms. Like Rotom, Wash, and Heat could still hit me pretty hard with Overheat and Hydro Pump, right? So it's important for me to get the Snarl off against that thing, get my Throat Spray up, and drop the special attack of the opponent, right? Because that means their Hydro Pumps and stuff will be hitting really, really weak. So we got a Volt Switch there. They didn't want any of that matchup at all, and their Rotom Wash is going to swap out. Now, the next coming Pokemon is Sylveon. I was like, oh man, this Pokemon should already be down. So I can go for a Venoshock. Now, unfortunately for me, Garbodor didn't manage to get a Toxic Spikes on the field. I did think about it, but I was like, nah, I really wanted to get rid of that Tyranitar so there wouldn't be any, annoying Sandstorm around, right? So go for Venoshock here. I do have +1 in Special Attack. However, I'm not getting boosted by anything like, Punk Rock. And that's low base power. And, Sylveon is actually able to live that one. Go for the Side Shock, and Toxtricity is going to go down. That was really annoying right there because if you think about it, Sylveon should have been down a long time ago. Garbodor should have still been alive, and so should have Toxtricity. So essentially that cost me 2 Pokemon there, that Gunk Shot miss. Okay, so now we're going to go into Gengar. Gengar can go for a Max Ooze here. It's got Max Guard on the Hypnosis, Max Knuckle for the Focus Blast. Obviously I'm not doing that for a physical set, just for, coverage against Steel types. And we got its GMAX move as well. So I was like, it's high time to go for the GMAX Gengar. Now, GMAX Gengar has a very, very cool GMAX design. It's very nice. I think you can, get lost in its, get lost in its, stomach or something like that. I forget what the Pokedex entry was. It was a really, really creepy one. Okay, so go for the Max Ooze there. This is a timid Gengar, max special attack and max speed. And we're going to try and get a special attack boost there straight away with the Max Ooze. So that's +1 on top of it's already like really good special attack. So some of these sets were probably a little bit better than my normal sets, right? But I did try to add a little bit of gimmick into them. So like with Venoshock and Hypnosis, right? So we've got an opposing Gengar. If you remember early on the battle, I did say that I was going to be versing a Gengar. And they've got a GMAX Gengar too. So like, okay, this is perfect. Gengar versus Gengar. So that Gengar, I think, is also a shiny one in that Master Ball there. And man, this is quality content, people. Gengar versus Gengar, like shiny Gengar versus shiny Gengar, both of them GMAX. Which Gengar will prevail, people? Which will get swallowed into that big vortex map? So I was like, okay, well, I could go for GMAX Terror. Now, GMAX Terror is a really cool move there. What it does is actually traps the opponent in. Now, the thing about this move, right, even though it's cool that it traps the opponent in, most of the time, right, when you hit him with Gengar, you'll be taking them out, so they won't even have a chance to trap them in. So I was like, it's a cool mechanic, but it's sort of like not very useful, unless you come across something like extremely bulky and you want to trap them in. Like, sort of like, I don't know, like a poor man's mean look sort of thing. Anyway, so go for another GMAX Terror. This is my last turn, and Dragapult is going to get absolutely destroyed there. So taking out like 1 to like 2 like really good Pokemon. So they've got Rotom on the left, and they've got another Pokemon, which is the Incineroar. So Incineroar, I could go for the Focus Miss against, which would be really nice. The problem is if it does miss, because it is, you know, Focus Miss after a while. And we got the Focus Miss landing here, and Incineroar is going to get absolutely dumpstered. I had a +1 in special attack. I was thinking maybe if it had the Assault Vest, it could barely live, but I don't think it did. So the last Pokemon is the Rotom Wash. Now, I can only go for a Venoshock and take this thing out. And that, my friends, is pretty much game there. Gengar absolutely sweeping the opponent there. No games. And I hope you guys enjoyed battle number... That was battle number 4. I need a drink of water, people. Thank you, Kana-chan, for the battle. We both got 69. How cool is that? That was a good drink. All right, next battle we got is against Luana. Luana's got a, that's like a stadium background. Oh, that's a pretty cool outfit. That's a pretty cool dress. Okay, so we got a Shuckle lead here. Now, Shuckle's probably going to set up every single entry hazard you could possibly name off the top of your head. So I thought, let's start with the Kingler this time. I've seen it in the team previews. So I thought, you know, Kingler might be a good Pokemon to lead with here. So instead of going for agility, I thought, I could go for 2 liquidations. That would be more than enough to take out the Shuckle before it starts any, like, toxic shenanigans and stuff like that, right? Okay. So we got the Stealth Rock from the Shuckle here. So it's like, okay, well, Shuckle can go for a Sticky Web if it does have it. I'm assuming it's got, you know, Stealth Rock and Sticky Web. So I decided to take the risk and go for the agility, so I could be speedy and have some, you know, good offense on my Kingler. I really like Kingler. It's a really good Pokemon. Definitely one of my, up there with my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. And its GMAX is really cool too. So go for a liquidation there, and Shuckle is going to go down. Man, I turned my aircon on before this battle, and now it's like freezing, right? But I got to like turn it off with my phone. So I don't want to turn it off my phone because I'm trying to narrate a Pokemon battle. Anyway, so we got the Grimmsnarl coming out here, and I thought, okay, guys, it's time for the GMAX Kingler. So we got GMAX Foam Burst. Now, GMAX Foam Burst is, I guess, it's a little bit disappointing in aesthetics of the move. But what it does, right, it pretty much drops the speed of using this move. Now, this pretty much is like one of those big old spider crabs. A very cool design. I really like GMAX Kingler out of all the GMAX Pokemon. Okay, so Grimmsnarl can have Prankster and use like Light Screen Reflect, all that sort of stuff, but it didn't use either. So I go for that GMAX foam bubble thing, and we got the Grimmsnarl taking 3/4 damage to that. So I knew I wouldn't be able to take it out in one, obviously, but I did do some pretty good damage there. Okay, so we got there's a harsh speed drop there, and we got a Thunder Punch from Grimmsnarl, so obviously didn't expect me to GMAX there, and Thunder Punch is not going to do a lot of damage at all. So now we got the Prankster Reflect. It's like, dang, that really sucks. So what I did right is I wanted to actually boost my attack. So I had Max Knuckle with a Brick Break. That was my idea of boosting its attack and agility to make up for its speed, right? Not that its speed's all that bad, But when you come across like really speedy Pokemon like Dragon Ball, you know, you never see Dragon Ball too much, but when you do see him, you do get outsped. So go for another Max Knuckly. I'm trying to get rid of that, at least get rid of the effects of Reflect so I can hit for, what I was doing before. And Grimmsnarl is going to go down. So we've taken out a Shuckle and we've taken out a Grimmsnarl. Unfortunately for me, that Grimmsnarl did waste all my Dynamax turns with the, Reflect there. Alright, so we got the Togekiss coming in here. Remember, I do have a +2 in speed. There's no Reflect up on the field still. Pretty much I cancelled it out. So going for Liquidation there. That was sheer force. It's very, very hard against the Togekiss, and that was too ambitious to go for the nasty flop there. Even on a bulky set, I would have done a lot of damage. So now they're going to go for a Dynamax on their Togekiss. They really, really want their Togekiss to live this right. I'm guessing what they're going to be doing. Usually what you do on your Togekiss when you want to, to sweep some of the Togekiss, what you do is you go for a nasty plot, right? You go for max Smash Attack and max speed, and then you spam max Airstream, right? And, you have max Starfall as well, and then another coverage move, I'd say like a Fire-type move. And that's how you sweep with the Togekiss. Unfortunately for them, they got outsped, and they wasted their Dynamax Pokemon too, so I don't know, man, like, that was really, really bad, because they messed up their Dynamax Pokemon. I've taken 3 out now with the Kingler. Can we get this Kingler GMAX sweep? Can we get 2 sweeps in one video? Alright, so go for that high horsepower again on the Seismitoad. That does some pretty good damage, and Dryas Sensei is going to hit me with a Grass Knot, and down goes my Kingler. Oh, man, I wish I got that sweep there with the Kingler, but that's how it is. So we've got the Life Orb there as well, and now we're going to swap in the Snorlax. It's like, okay, Snorlax can go for a Belly Drum here. I might be able to get off like a Belly Drum and, try like a mini Snorlax sweep, until I get like all the damage chipped down and outsped, which pretty much every Pokemon's going to be outspeed me. So we're going to dodge that Hydro Pump, which is very, very good there. And, Snorlax is going to go for the Belly Drum. So Hydro Pump would have done some very good damage with Life Orb there. So I'd say I'm going to go out on a limb and say I may not have even be able to got that Belly Drum off there if it did connect. So I can go for a +6 Body Slam against this Seismitoad and take it out, right? It goes for 2 Hydro Pumps, both of them miss. So very, very unfortunate for that person there. I do apologize for the RNG there. That would have done a lot of damage to me. And Seismitoad is going to go down. And they've only got 2 more Pokemon left. So their second last Pokemon is the Hitmonlee. So like, okay, well, I know I got a high jump kick coming my way. So I went for the Body Slam. And we got the high jump kick. High jump kick is going to land on the Snorlax, and that is going to take me out. Nothing I could have done there. I already used my Belly Drum. I'm well up at the moment, so it wasn't really a concern, right? So Reflect finally wears off. Obviously, the Grimmsnarl had a light clay there. We got Toxtricity coming in here. I can go for a Shockwave. There's no real point going for a Snarl. I don't really want to boost anything. High jump kick misses. Oh, this person's had really bad luck with their moves missing, and they've actually lost half their health. Go for the Shockwave, and Hitmonlee is going to go down there. So they miss both the Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump's not very accurate, right? So, high jump kick's reasonably accurate. So I guess there's a chance of one of them missing, but very, very unfortunate time. I guess it's more the timing for them missing, right? Moves have moves with like reasonable accuracy. They can miss. It's more, I guess for me, it's more the timing and they're missing. So we got the Arcanine go for the Psychic Fangs there, almost taking me out. I'm going to go for the Shockwave there, and that does some pretty solid damage to the Arcanine. I know this thing's probably got Psychic Fangs, Extreme Speed, take my Toxtricity out. It doesn't really matter. Toxtricity is definitely going to go down then. So I've got 3 more Pokemon left. They've got an Arcanine. Like, Arcanine was like super popular in like most of my battles. So we got the Arcanine. It's not the Arcanine. The Garbodor and Arcanine again, guys. I just remembered, like, I got that, like, in the air balloon again. I just remembered. Okay, so this time I'm not going to mess it up. So we got the Psychic Fangs doing a lot of damage to my Garbodor. Get the weak armor. Not that it matters. They've got the extreme speed anyway. This time I'm going to go for the Stomping Tantrum. Arcanine doesn't have an air balloon, and it's going to go down. Man, that was sweet justice there against the Arcanine. And that was the GMAX Kingler in action. Hope you guys enjoyed that battle number 5. Alright, is anyone still here at the moment? Thank you so much for watching this far. We're up to the very last battle, and you might have guessed we've got GMAX Charizard as the last battle. I'm not sure what that name says, but we're versing that guy. Now, GMAX Charizard, we're running a physical set with Dragon Dance, which is pretty interesting. So we got the Decidueye lead here, and I went for the Garbodor again. So Garbodor is such a solid lead, like, out of all these battles. So we got that air balloon intact there, And I was like, okay, I can go for a Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot will be a solid 2-hit KO. Most of the time, Gunk Shot was like a solid 2-hit KO against most elite Pokemon, right? Alright, so outspeeding the Decidueye, that speedy Garbodor, no one actually expects it. And now we've got the Spirit Shackle there from the Decidueye. That's really cool. And that does some, I guess it does okay damage to my Gardevoir. Not my Gardevoir, my Garbodor, getting my guard Pokemon mixed up there. So after that weak armor, it's almost going to take me out. They could go for a Sucker Punch here, or it wouldn't really matter because I knew that I'd be able to live that one, right? So the Decidueye's got the leftovers there. I can't really go for any other moves apart from Gunk Shot because nothing's going to land, right? Stomping Tantrum not going to work, and Drain Punch is not going to affect it because it's a Ghost type, right? So go for that Gunk Shot, and the Decidueye is going to go down. So a good start there getting rid of the Decidueye, and Garbodor did miss its second Gunk Shot, which is, you know, that was sort of a thing, right? Whether I was going to land the second one in a lot of the battles. So in comes the Gyarados. Now you guys probably think that Gyarados is going to be a very, very strong counter for Charizard, right? And I knew that, right? I was like every battle, I was like, if someone brings a Gyarados, Charizard's really, really got to struggle against it. So I sort of made my Charizard set, you know, pretty strong against Gyarados. So go for that Gunk Shot. Even with the Intimidate up, I do a lot of damage, and Gyarados is going to go for the Earthquake and take me out. So the good thing was, right, it didn't have Moxie or anything like that, so that was good. Now, the next Pokemon I'm going to swap in is Charizard. So, like, I want to get this Charizard, you know, GMAX thing happening. But before I do that, I don't even have to go for a GMAX. I've got Thunder Punch for this purely for Gyarados. Because Gyarados is a very, very scary Pokemon, especially with Dynamax. So I don't think Gyarados ever saw that one coming in its entire lifetime. And that one is going to go down. Alright, the next Pokemon coming out is the Eternatus. I was like, oh man, what am I going to do to Eternatus? Like, I've got Blaziken, it's going to do monkeys. Steel Wing's going to do monkeys. Thunder Punch is going to do monkeys. I can't do anything. I've got to send out another Pokemon to deal with this. So in the Kingler here, I was hoping I get like a Stomping Tantrum off against this thing. So Saturn's got to be fighting out of Uranus, out of Venus, out of Uranus. And my Kingler is not going to be liking that one, friends. It's going to be going down in one shot. I don't think it actually mattered all that crit mattered. You know, Kingler's special defense is pretty garbo, so it's not going to matter that much. Honestly, I had nothing to really just swap into this. So now we got the Snorlax. Like, okay, I want to hit this with a max attack Zen Headbutt. I'm confident it'll be a 2-hit KO against Eternatus, and then Eternatus goes for the Alien versus Predator stuff and goes for that Eterna Beam. I must admit, this attack looks absolutely awesome. Like, really, really cool. Like, I'd say that's probably one of the best looking moves in Gen. I'd say up there with definitely the best looking moves in Gen 8 for sure. What do you guys think? I don't know if anyone's still watching at the moment, but what do you think the best looking move is? Alright, so go for that big old Zen Headbutt, getting a critical hit there on the Eternatus. I still say that it would be a 2-hit KO even after the Black Sludge recovery run. So now I can freely go for a Zen Headbutt because even though Eterna Beam's very strong, it's like Hyper Beam, right? You got to wait for that extra recharge. So I can go for another Zen Headbutt and easily take out the, Eternatus. And Zen Headbutt, I thought it might miss for a second, and it didn't. And Eternatus is going to go down. So it's really good getting rid of that Pokemon. And of course, I get the unnecessary crit there again. So I got 2 crits in a row, which is beautiful. Alright, next Pokemon coming out is the Cinderace. So it's like, okay, I'm glad I've got, I'm really, really glad that I've got the Thick Fat on this one. I almost went for the Gluttony. So I get hit by a Flaming Soccer Ball. That there was a critical hit, so that you can see how bulky Snorlax is with the Thick Fat ability there. So I'm going to eat my Citrus Berry, which is going to give me some health back, which is nice. And now I can go for a Body Slam. So Body Slam should be about a 2-hit KO. And yeah, it's just a 2-hit KO. That actually took that a lot better than what I thought it would. Like, really, that did. I thought they'd do, like, a little bit more damage to Cinderace than that. So I go for another Body Slam. Like, obviously, they don't have, like, a fighting type move. They've probably got something, like, upper, like, Court Change or something like that. And they almost took me out. Go for another Body Slam there, and Cinderace is going to go down. So the only reason I lived that match up there was because of Thick Fat. If I didn't have Thick Fat, that first Pyro Ball, I'd say would have taken me out because it was a crit rate. Okay, so the second last Pokemon is Zacian. I was like, oh, man. This Pokemon is so strong, like swapping and getting a +1, that great speed, like Snorlax is not going to stand a ghost of a chance against this thing. So it's got Sacred Sword, that's going to be super effective and take out my Snorlax. So I've got Charizard. Charizard would do pretty good against it, right? But I didn't really want to swap Charizard in against it when it had max health, right? So it's like, maybe I could swap in Gengar here and soften it up a little bit. I could go for the Hypnosis, and then I was like, nah, what I'm going to do is go for the Shadow Ball, right? Because Hypnosis could miss, and then I could miss the opportunity to get like any damage against this Pokemon, you know, at all. So Shadow Ball is about I'd say I'd give it take about a 3-hit KO there. And now we got the Behemoth Blade. Behemoth Blade does look pretty cool there, I have to admit. And Gengar is obviously going to go down in one shot there. Very, very cool looking move. Now, the problem with the Behemoth Blade is I was actually deciding what GMAX Pokemon to use. Like, I've got to use Charizard, right? Because if I go for a GMAX, right, I've got to have something that at least resists it, right? Because, as you guys know, Behemoth Blade is stronger against, you know, Dynamax Pokemon, right? Or GMAX Pokemon. And so go for that GMAX on the Charizard. And I was like, okay, I can't go for a Dragonance against this. I've just got to go for GMAX Wildfire and sort of, you know, hope for the best, right? All right, so go for that big old shiny Charizard. I mean, I think everyone's got one of these Pokemon now. Like, Charizard is probably the most popular GMAX Pokemon, like, out of all of them. Okay, so we're getting that nice. I remembered also, I will say this, I remembered all the Dynamax candies on all of my Pokemon. That should be like an instant pat on the back like there. Alright, so we've got the Behemoth Blade. Behemoth Blade does a lot of damage to me, even though it resists. It does about 3/4. And now we can go for the GMAX Wildfire, which looks absolutely awesome too. So that also does the effects of the fire, doubles effects of Fire Pledge too, which is really cool. And we've got one more Pokemon left here. I've still got one other Pokemon in the back too. So we've got a Solgaleo. So Solgaleo has some pretty good defense, right? And remember, they haven't Dynamaxed a Pokemon, so you know they're going to Dynamax this Solgaleo. So I was like, okay, well, Dynamax Solgaleo will take this pretty well, right? I've got 2 more turns of Dynamax. You know, what's my play here? I've got a Toxtricity in the back, which could outspeed. I'm not sure. It could. There's a chance. And then I've got now thinking, okay, right, I could go for a Max Guard here. I know this thing's going to take me out, right? I have to go for Max Guard, get a little bit of extra damage, right, with the GMAX Wildfire. As you can see, it does a little bit of damage there. And then go for my attacking move. And then with the actual GMAX Wildfire will do some damage at the end of that turn again. So essentially, I'll get 2 rounds of damage on this, plus my my move, which does a lot of damage to Nebby there. So we got a Max Mindstorm, I'm guessing, coming off. Which any sort of Psychic type move, Zen Headbutt or whatever, this thing has pretty nice attack. And the Psychic Terrain is on the field. But Charizard did its job there. It took out the Zaciod, and it nearly took out the Solgaleo all by itself then. So very, very good effort there by the Charizard. So I've got one more Pokemon left. And as you can see, we've got a little bit more damage there to the Nebby. Now it's like, okay, I've got my Toxtricity. I've got Snarlness. Snarl super effective. And I've got the Pug Rock, so let's go for Snarl. Let's hope we can take this out with a Snarl and outspeed, and we do, and that is all 6 battles. I hope you guys enjoyed every one of these battles. This took a very, very long time to do. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like on the video, and I might catch you tomorrow. Peace out, people. Wow, what a long narration that was. Holy moly. Peace, people.